Welcome. In this course, we are going to create this nice responsive website, which is just a representation of a property listing marketplace. We are going to create this website using just HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap 5. So this website is completely responsive. It has the navigation bar, it has the search box, it has the slider here with controls. It has this card section, it has this call to action section, it has contact us, nice footer with three layout and a copyright section. All this we are doing with the help of Bootstrap 5. And you see the font is also looking great. So we are using this Google Fonts for that and Bootstrap 5 for styling. We are using Font Awesome for our icon and we are getting some images from open source website. Overall, we are building this nice application. And if I go to the mobile view, you will see everything is very responsive and nothing breaks. So this is the power of Bootstrap. So you will learn a lot of things in this course, how to use Bootstrap to build any kind of layout or a website of your choice. So if this is interesting to you, then please join me in the course. Thank you. Welcome. Let's go ahead and install the editor that we will using for development. Go to Google and type Visual Studio Code download. Then click on the first link. Based upon your operating system, whether it's Windows, Linux or Mac, choose the installer and click download. You can click on user installer or system installer 64-bit. Once you have downloaded this for you, just double click on it and follow the normal installation process. After you have installed the Visual Studio Code editor, just open it and in your computer create a folder where you would like to keep the source code. So I've created a folder called Flexbox, which I have opened in my Visual Studio Code editor by clicking File, Open Folder. This is the place where I'm going to keep my source code. Next, click on this Extensions tab and search for Live Server. Click on this, the first one by Ritvik Day. Install this and restart your Visual Studio Code editor. This live server will help us run our HTML code on the browser in terms of server so that we don't have to refresh the browser again and again whenever we do the changes. So this is it for the installation process. Thank you. Welcome. Let's try to understand what is meant by responsiveness. Let's say I have a website like Udemy and now I want to make sure that this website looks great in all kinds of devices, laptop, tablet, mobile, and in any other device. For that, I don't have to write multiple source code. There should be a way by which I should write only once the code and then the same website should automatically adjust itself based on the device width on a particular device, whether it may be laptop, desktop, mobile, doesn't matter. So here is the website of Udemy. So if I now try to go ahead and try to resize the screen, it's you see it's automatically getting adjusted and becoming responsive. After a certain point of time, this menu is gone and this kind of menu appears. So this is the nature, responsive nature of the website by which Udemy doesn't have to create multiple websites for multiple devices. Rather, the same website is going to work for all the devices. So in case of in future, if there is any new device with a certain specification, this will work as expected. So responsiveness means making sure the same website works or looks good in all kinds of devices. And how do we achieve this responsiveness behavior with CSS? We achieve this with the help of something called as media queries. And that's what we are going to look into in this course. Thank you. Welcome. So now that we know what is meant by responsive web designs and how can we make a website compatible with other website other kinds of devices. The same website source code will work on other kinds of devices with the help of responsive nature. So we use media queries. There's a concept in CSS called CSS3 called media queries that helps us achieve this. So I have this page with me. I'm going to just run it for you. So this is how it looks now. So this is a website which looks like this. And if I go ahead and try to make it responsive, you will see things will not go well. So if I make this responsive, it is okay for a certain period, but after then it gets stuck here, then this gets stuck and this doesn't look good because now I get a scroll bar. So this is not a responsive website. So we have to make this responsive in such a way that as soon as we reduce the screen size based on the device, it should automatically fit and style automatically. So how can we do that? That is something we will achieve with the help of media queries in CSS3. To achieve that, we will be using this unresponsive website as a starting point. You will get this unresponsive, non-responsive website code with you. You don't have to worry. Let me explain you this code, how it looks. So it is very simple. You have this HTML and then this is the H1 tag and the break line. After that we have this container. In the container again I have a break line and then one section for text, then break line, another section for image. And in this there's an anchor tag where you can click and that anchor tag has an image and this image is this one and this points to a CSS which is this one, and here I have reset all the margin and padding on the whole body. Then I have applied some styling on the H1 tag which is this one, and on the container I have applied some styling to make it look two boxed, and then I have this styling text center which is like this. So we can go ahead and do that together so that you will come to know, and later on we can make this non-responsive to a responsive website. So let's go ahead and first try to replicate this non-responsive website ourselves. Thank you. So first thing first, you should first create a folder in your computer and open that folder with file and then open folder. After that, let's go ahead and create our index.html file. Press shift exclamation and it gives us some piece of boilerplate code, and then we are going to make put the heading as or title as media queries, and of course let's give a title here, h1 responsiveness with media query. Then we will give a div with a class of container, another div with a class of text section, and a div with a class of image section. Alright, and here we will add some text, lorem 30, enter, or then it's going to generate some boilerplate, and here we are going to give a anchor tag and we say anchor tag href. We don't need this, we can get rid of all this, and inside this anchor tag we will have our image, and in the image we will give the mean dot jpg. That's it. And of course we can give some br tags here if we want. Let me give one br here, and another. Yeah, I think that is sufficient, but let's check. I will open this in my Explorer or the server. So this is how it looks now. We don't have to worry now. This is, but we will make it look like this. So let's go ahead and create our style.css file, style.css file, and include that in our link tag, link CSS, style CSS. So in the next video, we are going to style our page to look like this, which is non-responsive one. So let's do that in the next video. Thank you. Welcome. So now let's quickly go ahead and grab some CSS from here. So I'm going to copy this piece of CSS and paste it here. What this will do is, now we see there's a small gap around this, which is not good. So this will get rid of that. So I will paste this, and so we'll say margin 0, padding 0, and font family this, border box sizing as border box. So if I refresh, so you see everything starts from the corner. That's perfect, and the font size has also changed, or font family has also changed. That's great. So next what we will do is we will style the h1 tag a little bit. We'll give some margin, and we will say it should align center, and then it should be in the capital letter. So this will move here, and there will be some margin on the y axis. Yes, because on the x we have given 0. So let's paste this, and if we go and see, this looks like this now. Perfect. Maybe for 50 is too much, so we can say 40. 40 margin from the top bottom. Okay, and then what we have to do next is, let's go ahead and style our container. So here we will have a nice thing. So I can do it manually. Let's go ahead and manually style it. So we'll say container, and we will first give the width as 100%. So let's give it a border first to just to see 1px solid red. So our container we gave border, see. So this is our container up to here red. Perfect. So this is our container. Nice. Now we want to not have height of this much but less. So we'll say height. We will say 50 view h, 50% of the whatever is seen. So whatever we are seeing from here until here, only 50%, so this much. But the image is outside. So let's fix that. Now what we have to do is we have to bring this text and image side by side. And we know how to do that. We have to say display of flex, and by default the flex direction is 0. So it's going to come side by side. Perfect. Then what we have to do is we have to give this image some height and width. So let's see how much did we give. So here is the image width. So I will copy this and paste it here for now. Perfect. So now our image is also aligned nicely. But you see this image is starting from here and the text is starting from here. That's not good. So let's make them justify content. So first we'll make them horizontally center. So we'll say justify content center. So now we will make them vertically center. So align items center. So now they are vertically centered. Perfect. So this is what we have here as well. Just that now we have to give some padding in between them. So let's see how much padding I can give. What is the padding that I am using here? So image section width, of course, it's going to automatically take the width. So we can use the padding 5% on each. So on the wide X direction, we need only X direction padding. So here we can say text section padding of this much. and also the image section, the same padding on the x-axis. So we have some space from this side and from this side. This is looking great. So let's see if we have achieved what we wanted to do. Of course, there is this clumsy looking text. We can give some in here. We can say the word spacing of 16 px. So now it looks fine. So now if I get rid of this border, are we going to achieve what we have here? Let's see. Of course, we have given explicitly the width as this should be 50% and this should be 50%. If we don't give, also that should be fine. The image is center aligned, text align center. We can do that. Image is, we can say this should be width 50, text center. Nothing would change because it's exactly the same way. Yeah, we may don't have to give this one anymore because if we give text center, it is going to automatically take this. Uh, let's apply width of here as 50%. So if we do a width of 50%, then it's also going to occupy 50%, and then text center is going to bring center here. And if we give text center here also, that's fine. But here we don't want to give center align, otherwise it looks nice from the left. And this image is in the center. So if you want to see, so we can say border 1px solid blue, and I can get rid of this border and paste it around image. So here we have, so image is center aligned and our text is nicely aligned with padding on the x-axis. So this is how it looks. Perfect. So we can get rid of this. I will comment this, control forward slash and control forward slash. Perfect. So we have achieved what we wanted to achieve in terms of non-responsive behavior. If I do this, now our website breaks because it's not responsive. So let's go ahead and try to make it responsive. Thank you. So welcome. Now we have to understand that we should write media queries always at the end or end of all the styles. Otherwise, we will have problems. That media query won't work and we will be in trouble. Next thing is that as we know that media queries is used to make the same website work on different devices so that we don't have to code again and again, and hence the organization is going to save money. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure our website works on desktop or laptop, and then on tablets, iPads, mobile phones and smartphones. So we can, and also here you can say smaller devices as well. Here smaller devices, small phones. So we have to be very uh, cautious in writing the queries because there can be more devices that can have different ranges, or these are also called breakpoints. Until then apply certain styling, after that apply certain styling, within this apply certain styling. So there are different kinds of things that can go. So what we have to do now is we have to make sure that our at least works in these three device ranges. So there can be many device ranges, but we will focus on laptop, desktop, laptop, tablets, iPads, mobiles, and smartphones. So let's go ahead and see how to customize and make our unresponsive page look good in mobile and smartphone. Thank you. Welcome. It's time to now make our website responsive for device width in mobile phones, which is between 0 to 768. So how are we going to write this query? So what we have to do is we have to say @media, and then we have to write the query. So we have to say max width. So until the max width has been reached of 768 pixel, this style will continue to apply. So let's go ahead and see whether this style applies. So I'm going to override the style of H1. So I'm going to keep everything same and just that I'm going to change the H1 to a different color. So H1 I will make it to color as blue. So let's go to the browser and this is our browser. Now if I change this and as soon as I reach 768 you see the color changed to blue. So now our media query automatically knows the device width and it automatically applied the styling for us. Now what we want to do is bring these two in different lines. So why are they not in different lines already? Because by default we give width of 50% and then display of flex. So we have to remove this display of flex from the container and make it display of block, which means the container will occupy the whole space and the elements will also occupy the whole 100%. So let's do that. So here what I'm going to do is first I will say dot container. Remember in media query we only override those properties of our already declared class which we want to change. Like I'm not going to copy everything from the container. I just want to override display flex to display block. So I will just write container and I'm going to say display of block. If I go now, my media query will act and I will see this behavior. See, it automatically brings to the next line. If I change it, it's in one line. Now it's in two lines. But there are spaces left here. So let's fix that. For that, we have to basically go and say text hyphen section. We have to change its width to 100%. Similarly, we have to also change the width of the image section to 100%. Let's see how it looks now. So if I am now reduce, so you see it looks perfect now. Both are in the second line and they are also one below another. So if I increase this, you see it automatically goes to the next line. So perfect. So far we have achieved this what we wanted to achieve. Now let's make this image also responsive. How can we do that? We can basically say in the image, this is going to be our image. So let's target the image and keep the width as 100% of the image. Make the height as auto. So automatically now the height will be allocated to the image based upon the browser height. So now if we go, see we see this is the see now our image also reduces in size and grows in size. Perfect. See the image became responsive now. So this is how we can do this. And of course we can give a break line in between these two so that it has some space. So I'm going to go and give a br tag here so that there's a nice space between them. Perfect. So this is how we can achieve responsiveness in this device. But what about smaller devices which are between 0 and 468? This image is now almost stuck at the corner. I want a little bit of space around them. So for that we have to target differently in our style. So let's go ahead and do that in the next video. Thank you. So let's go ahead and try to achieve that behavior that when we do this, we should have the nice look and feel in the mobile. So right now I have this behavior that when I'm here, this is fine. But when the smaller devices, I want to give some space around this. So for that, I will do something like this. I will have to write another media query. So I will say media, and then I have to target this screen where I have to say max width until, so max width until 460 68 px. So until this time, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to override the image. I'm going to give a padding around the image of 15 pixel all around. So let's go ahead and see how it looks. So you see now there's a nice padding around this. So there's a space, and if I take this up, you can see a nice padding at the bottom as well. So if I increase this padding disappears. If you want to give padding in this as well, then you can give it by just, because we already are targeting the media query here, so you can give a padding of, let's say, 10 pixel. Remember, padding is from inside and margin is from outside. So now it is 10 pixel, but when it goes to mobile, it becomes, see, let's say I want to also change this font size of this in the mobile. I want to reduce the font size. So I can say H1, and I can say font color, I will change it to orange, and font size I would like to change it to 14px. So now you see it is now 14px in mobile. So let's say 14px is too less. I can say 20px, something like this. So in the mobile it will look like this. In the desktop, in the tablet, or the 768 device pixel devices, it will look like this, and the higher devices it will look like this. So we can do anything we what we want in different devices. So this is how you override for devices between 0 to 468px. And this is how from 468 now 469 to this much, or let's say 0 to because this will also this all will apply in 0 to 467, plus only this will get overridden for this property, a rest will still apply. This is how it works. Thank you. Welcome. So remember that we there are many ways to write media queries, like media and screen and something, media and screen something else. But we are going to use this syntax because now we are using advanced browser, so it is smart enough to understand what we are trying to do. And it we also saw the changes take effect without any problem. So now let's go ahead and try to write media query for devices which are, let's say, laptops. So I'm going to say minimum width. So when the minimum width of the device is this much, then start applying the style. So let's say I will say 1024 pixel onwards, 1024 pixel onwards, start applying this styling. So let's say what I want to do is, when this is achieved, I would like to change this little bit and change the color of it, let's say. So this is in our div section. So here I'm going to change the color of the text. So let's go ahead and do that. So I will copy this and I'm going to say font. So I'm just going to change the color to, let's say, green, and I will also change something to maybe a little bit different than this green. Yes, and I'm also going to change some other property just to showcase that multiple properties are possible. So let's say I will just say here background color as beige. So let's go and see. So you see this has happened. So if I change this up to here, there is no effect. Up to here, no effect. And as soon as the device width changes to 1024, from to 1024 onwards, it is going to keep applying that style. but as soon as the device bit will change, it will not apply that effect. So that's what it means. So this is how we can target for higher devices, which are laptop and desktop. Thank you. Welcome. So now we are only left with one situation where our media query we have to apply between for this kind of devices. So let's go ahead and do that. So I will say @media, and I'm going to say when the minimum when the minimum is this much and maximum is this much. So we have to apply both now. Minimum width of 769 pixel, and along with it we also want the maximum width of, here we have applied already, so maximum width we can take up to 1023 pixel, because 1024 we have covered above. And so below this will affect, above this will come into effect. So here what I want to do is I just want to maybe change the style of something. Let's say during this situation here, I want to change this, make it capital letters, something like that. So I'm going to do this. I will say text section, and I can say text hyphen transform. I'll say capitalize, and I can also change the, I will also change the whole body color. Let's say body background color to aqua. Let's go and see. So here you see body background color is this, and this is capitalized. And as soon as we go par this, then its effect is gone. Now effect is gone. So we are seeing different behaviors in different kinds of devices. And the same website is going to work differently in different devices. Of course, you can target more of this. You can also, I can also change this to uppercase to be more sure about whether it's working or not. So now it is all capital letters, you can see. Perfect. So if there are devices which are left out, which are not within this range, or there are more specific devices, you can again write separate media query for them and execute them and override these properties that you are saying. But one thing again to remember is always write your media queries at the end. When you are done with all your styling above, then at the end go ahead and write the media queries. Otherwise, your media queries will not work. Remember that point. Alright, now you know how to make any non-responsive website to responsive. So thank you for watching, and bye bye. Go to your computer and create any folder where you want to keep the project code. And in that folder, you can just type here cmd.exe, and then just open that folder in Visual Studio Code Editor. So type code space dot. It's going to open Visual Studio Code Editor for you in that folder. I already have a project, so I will minimize that project. And what I will do is I will create another folder here called project 2. You can give any name you want. And in this, I'm going to create first file as index.js, index.html. Press shift exclamation and it will suggest us the dummy markup. So I will say project 2 and type here hello. Right click on it and open with live server extension. If you don't have this extension, go to this left menu extensions and here search for live server. Give a space here and click on this one, which is from Ritvik Day. Install this and restart your Visual Studio Code Editor. Then you will, when you will restart it, Here, if you right click, you should see open with live server. Click on this, it's going to open the project in live server. And here we have hello. So first thing that we will do is go ahead and go to getbootstrap.com, click on get started, and then we will add bootstrap to our project. So copy this CSS, go here, paste it here. Next, go to this JS, copy this, paste it here. After that, we will also need Google Fonts. So go to Google and type Google Fonts, click here, search for Poppins. I like this font, so I will go with Poppins. It's already here. So then you can choose different styles from here. Like this one, this is already selected, so I have taken this one. If you want more bold, you can also take more bold. Let's say I will take this as well. So this is selected and one bold is selected. One, two is selected and one more at the bottom is selected. Three. This is sufficient. So copy this whole thing from here and go and paste it here. Next is we will need the font awesome for icons. So click CDNJS font awesome. Go to the first link. Click on this copy link for all mean CSS and paste it here. Now if we go to our application or the browser, we will see font automatically getting applied on the hello, which means our bootstrap is working. So let's apply the font as, let's write a little bit here, hello world, and let's create a CSS file in our project. So we'll say style.css and then let's say I will say for the whole body tag, I will say font hyphen family as Poppins because we already have imported that here from Google Fonts. So if we go and now we have to import this CSS here. So I will say link and then I will say dot slash style dot CSS. Save it and we see the Poppins font is applied. So this is it for this video. Thank you. Welcome. Now let's go ahead and create some skeleton containers for our project. So I will say div and here I will apply class called container for our uh, app container. I'll give this name as app container as a class and in this we will create multiple sections. So first section will be div and then we can say with class as let's have sections first. So first section we will say press. So how to give comment? So angular bracket and then this exclamation sign hyphen hyphen. This is comment. So navbar start and we will say navbar end. So this is the navbar section. We will create navbar here. Then we will have carousel section. Carousel section. After that we can, if we want, we can keep our services section or we can skip that. That's up to us. Or we can just show latest listings. I can say featured or latest let's say latest listings. Next is we will have add new listing section, add new listing, or let's say view all listing, view all listing. So this is the listing website, so we are going to show all the listings here, and then we will have a section for, let's say, for now we will create contact form. So we'll have contact form, and finally we will have the footer section. So we will have footer. We can have more sections if we want our services, our pricing, all the section. But this is it for our website for now. Later on we can create more section. Thank you. So let's go ahead and first work on our navigation section. Here we go to getbootstrap.com and search for navbar. So we will get navbar here and scroll down. We can take this navigation bar. So copy this whole content and go here and paste it here. So this is our navbar section. Let's go ahead and look how it looks. So it looks like this, which is decent. Which this is what we wanted. Let's remove this disabled link. Apart from that, others we can keep. So go to disabled here. We can remove the disabled link, and later on we can fix this. So this is how we create a navbar section using Bootstrap. Thank you. Welcome. So we have completed our navbar section. So what I will do, I will minimize this. So here you can see an arrow. You can click on this and this will minimize navbar. Next is to get the carousel section. So let's go to get bootstrap and type here carousel, and it's going to give us here carousel. So click on that, and there are different types of carousel. So what we are going to go with is this kind of carousel with caption and this. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to create a section here. You can create a section or a div, doesn't matter. So I'm going to mention here shift tab. I will mention here as class as carousel section. We are not going to style them, just giving some class for now, and paste it here. And if we just paste this and go now and see how it looks, so it looks like broken because we have not added some images and other things. So what we will do is we will go and add some images. So go to unsplash.com, unsplash, and here we get some free photos. So here we search for house, let's say, and we get many houses. So let's say we will copy this. So right click on this and copy image address. Take this and paste it here in the image section of the carousel. Similarly, go and take another one, right click, copy image address, and we paste it into the other image. Then we got another one, right click, copy image address, and paste it here. So if we go now to our website and see, so it looks quite big. So we need to fix this particular image size and height and width. So let's do that in the next video. Thank you. Welcome. So now it's time to fix our carousel, the image height. It is quite big. So what we will do is we will simply go here and go to our carousel main section. So here we have this ID. So what we will do is we will take this carousel ID and then we will go here, and in this we will say hash of this ID and then all the image tag inside it. So there are multiple image tags inside it. So if we go here, there's one image here, there's another image here. So I would better target it with the help of this carousel section. This. So instead of this, I will say dot this. So I will just say height is 300 pixel. And if I save this and go and see our project, so it looks like this now. So here we have the arrow, go forward, backward like this. And here we also have the controls which we can control. So 300, maybe we can say 350. Let's see how it looks. So 350 looks good enough for us, and this is fine. So let's continue in the next video. Thank you. Welcome. Now we are done with our carousel section. So what I will do is I will also go and minimize this particular section. Next is latest listing section. So what we want to show is whichever are the newest top 3 listings we are going to show here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just say another section here, and I will give it a class, a latest listing, and here I'm going to go ahead and apply the bootstrap column and row section. So what I would like to show, I would like to show 3 listings in one row. So what I will do, I will say div, and I will say class as container, and in this this is bootstrap container class, so I will say div dot row, and then in this I will say div dot call of md hyphen, I will say 4 because I want to show 3. So what happened here, let's check. Div, so div dot call hyphen md of 4, and then in the small devices I will say call hyphen sm of 12. So this is one. So let's go ahead and grab the listing how we want to show. So in the bootstrap I will click show search here card and click on cards, and I would like to have this. Let's see what kind of card we can use. So this card looks good. So what I will do, I will copy this card, copy this and paste it here, and let's go to our page and see how it looks. So we have one card here, so it is quite here, so it's not good. The image is not there, so it's not looking good. So what I will do, I will take an image for now. So right click, copy image address, go here, and here's our image. So I will paste the image here. So if I go now here, so this is looking great. So what I can do is further, I need to give some margin here. So before that I would like to have something added here, like a div, I will say class row. Let's write down latest listing section. So in this I will say div with class as call 12. I always want this to be shown in one column. So here I can say h2, I can say latest listings. Let's see how it looks. So it looks like this. I want this to be in the center. So I will say here I will just say text center, text hyphen center. So it will be at the center, and I need some margin and padding around this. So I will say on this row margin uh, y as 3. So here at the top it's a little bit at the bottom. So I will say margin y of 5. So this looks good. And now this is my listing card. So what I want to do now is in this card, I want to get rid of this section which is these things I don't want. So I will say I will get rid of this for now. So this looks good. So I'm going to copy this whole thing, and this is one item. So I will copy this and paste it. Let's check if this is ending here. Yes, I will paste it 2 more times. Copy, paste, paste. So if we see now, so it looks like this. Our latest listings looks like this. So this is for now good enough. Maybe what we can do is we can reduce some space between them, that we will look at later. For now, this is good enough. Thank you. Welcome. What we are seeing here is there is this card is small little bit, but there's a lot of space, and this from this side there is less space and this side more space. So it is also not looking good in the mobile view. So there is a lot of space. So let's look at why is this. So when we copied this card section, here is the card. So this is one card. We see that they have applied, Bootstrap has applied some static width. So let's remove this. We don't want to apply any static width, otherwise it will not be responsive for us. So remove this and remove this as well. Now save it, and there you go. So it looks now perfect the way we want. So if I right click, inspect, and then try to see it in the mobile view, you see it looks great. There is no issue, but then there's no gap between the two cards in the vertical view. So let's fix that as well. So in the vertical view, in the every card, what we will do, at every card we will apply a margin bottom of 2, and then we apply it at all the cards so that it will make the card little bit, it will give some space at the bottom of the each card. So here we have, see, this is a small gap we get, this small gap here and here as well. So this is how we can fix this, and now it is completely responsive. Perfect. This is how it looks. Thank you. Welcome. Let's go ahead and create our call to action section. So in here now I'm going to minimize this latest listing section, and here we have the view all listings or call to action section. So this we can also call as call to action or something. For now, we will just keep it as view all, and I will say section, and I will apply a class of container hyphen fluid, and for now I will give a background of bg primary. We can give any color we want, or any image as a background, or any gradient as a background. For now I will keep it simple. So here what I want is I want to just write some text for now. View all listings. So if I go, I see this section here, but it is very small, so it's not taking any height or width. So I'm going to give a class here, all listings, and I will go to our CSS class, and here I will apply a bootstrap text hyphen white and text hyphen center. Text hyphen white will make the color of the font as white, and text center will bring it in the center. So here is the section we see. Let's give a margin in the top and bottom in the y-axis by margin of 5. So it's looking like this. 5 is too much, so I will say 3. And let's increase the height of this. So I will go to Bootstrap in my CSS. I will say all these things and I will say height of 50 pixel, or I can also say REM, which is a relative unit. So 50 REM is too much. We should not, when we are giving 50 REM, it should be 1 point something. So 1.1 REM is like close to I think 14 or 16 pixel. So I will say 1.5 or 1.8 REM for now. So this is this much 1.8, so I can say 5.8. So this is like this, maybe more. 8 REM is the height I would like to give, maybe more, 10 REM. And now I want this to be at the center here somewhere. So how I can do that? So I will go to this section here and I will say I will make this as D flex, and after that let's put this in the h1 tag or h3 tag. So I will cut this, I will say h2, paste it here, and now after putting deflex we can basically apply align here in the center vertically and horizontally. Let's do that. So if we want to make bring something at the center here horizontally, so we have to define its container as this is the container for h2, so we will say deflex. And if I want to make it horizontally center, by default it is uh, the flex is deflex, which is flex row, that the flex direction is row. So I will say justify content center. If I do this, then it is going to bring it horizontally center. And if I want to make it vertically also center, let's say here, then I have to say justify, sorry, align items, align items center. And here it is now at the center. All this you can find in the documentation. So if I say deflex, so we will see in the flex box here we can see if we say something deflex, then the child can be treated as the flex items. So by default the flex direction is row. So by default the flex direction is row. If you want, we can give flex direction as column as well, flex column like this, and it will work differently. And here is the justify content, which if this is if the flex direction is row, then we can say like this, justify content start, end, bottom, center, around. So we use center, which is like this it brought. Similarly, if you want to align items vertically like this, remember with the flex direction row I'm talking, then you can say align items center, the start and baseline like this. So similarly, if you check why I did applied here the class as a um, in the container, if you see this one, we set container fluid. With the container fluid, what happens is this occupies the whole width, whole space. If I just say container, then it will cut off from this side and this side. So let me remove this fluid and you will see the magic. So here it's, see, it is up to here, but I wanted full width. So I said container fluid. So now it is full width. So here you can find about that container and container fluid, what it does. Just search for the documentation and you will find everything. So containers, and we can also have we have containers SMMD like this for different devices also, where we can contain we can regulate the width and height based upon different devices. So We can say in small devices it should be like this, and large this, and all those things. We can apply this, and for responsive containers, this is the ones which we can use, and for normal containers, we use this one. And then we have the container fluid, which is for the full width that we saw. Similarly, for the background, so BG primary, if I say, so if I type here background, so you will see this BG primary this color, BG secondary this color, danger info, all these are this kind of colors which we can apply. Similarly, we have gradient also. So let's say if I wanted to apply BG with some gradient, so I can say BG primary BG dot BG gradient. So if I just type here BG primary BG gradient, then it is going to apply a little bit of gradient fill for us. So here it looks little nicer now. So this is how we can use the whole Bootstrap CSS or Bootstrap classes. Same way text center means bring everything in center, which is in the container. So here wherever we will use text as center, text center class, it will bring things to the center. This is not the class, but we use that way. And then of course we have MX auto margin. If we say margin, so we have margin padding. So this also we can say margin start, and then MD means it will only apply, this margin will only apply for the medium device. So we can apply different types of things with different types of devices as well. So if we look at this particular thing, then we can use this. So here if you go, there are more items which we can use, like visibility, visible, invisible. So there are a lot of things we have got which we can use in Bootstrap. So always refer the documentation for the things you want before writing custom CSS. So let's say I want a button also beneath this. So let me put a button as well here. So I will say button, and I will say listings, and I will apply some class here. So class btn, let's say info. Let's see how it looks. So this looks like this because it is now on side by side, because we have said justify content center. So if I say make it flex hyphen column, now it is one below another. So this is how we can apply things. And this text I want white, so I will say text hyphen white. So you see the listings button, this becomes white now. So this is how you can put lots of different styling using Bootstrap. So if I want to put some margin and padding around this, so I can apply that as well. And on the button I can say padding of 2 all around. So it has a padding of 2 now all around. And it is completely responsive also. So if we check this now, this is completely responsive. See, it is all responsive. Perfect. This is it for this video. Thank you. Welcome. Now let's go ahead and add the icons that we chose. Like we are using Font Awesome. So let's apply some icons here. So here we have our website. So what I will do is I will go to the Font Awesome website, and as we are using the CDN Font Awesome version 6, so we have to also go to the website and go for version 6 here. It's 5 point something. So select 6, and you can click on icons here. I already have it here. So click on free icons, and I can take some icons what I want. So let's say I will take this icon. So click on this, then click here. It will copy the this snippet. And what I want is I want to show this icon here. So let's say I will put this icon here. So it should now show on top of our here. So you see it is showing it here, but the font size is very small. So for the font size, we have some display classes. So if I go here, display. So this is the block, the inline. What we can do is uh, what we have to basically apply the font size. So we search for font here. So go with font size here, and here if we see, we can do text capital, small, all this also. So let's say I want to do this. So I will copy this and I can go to this. I can say class equal to text capitalize. So if I go here, it will, it should make everything capital. Let's see. So text capitalize is it did the first letter capital for all. So if I make it as view small v, then also it will be capital only here. But we don't want text capitalized, so we maybe want uppercase. So everything should be uppercase. So let's say I copy this and make it here text uppercase. So if I check now, so everything is uppercase here. But the thing is, we need to also let me make this also here button text also uppercase. So this is listings, but we have to increase the font of this one. So font size, if we go down here, so if you see, it says FS1, FS2, FS like this. So what I can do is I can take, let's say, this one, FS1, it is big one. So I will say font size big. So here I will say FS1 and save it. And now if we go here, you will see this is a quite a big one, but there is no space around it. So let's add a padding around it. So here in this listing text, I will add a padding of 1 around it. So it will have good space around this. And now we see that this band is slightly small in, so let's increase the height of the band. So we can say 10.5 or let's say 11. So now it's looking great. So this is how we can utilize some fonts and text, these kind of classes from Bootstrap. And of course, again, the text is also responsive for small devices. If you want, you can do this. If you want, we are using text center, but if you want text start, text end, you can do this, is use this. So it will be displayed like center, end, like this. But if you want only on the small devices, it should start, and large devices, it should be center. So you can apply that class text sm start, text MD center. You can do this. So it will be in the small devices on the start and the medium devices in the center. So those kind of things. And if you have large text, you can apply text wrap property also. So the text will wrap to the next line. So this is how we can do. And of course, if you want to apply a badge around something, so let's say if I want to apply a badge around something, maybe I will try to show you here in this section. If I put maybe I will see if something is happening here. So it's not showing, but if you see, this view listing is become small and it has applied the badge of the same color. But that's fine. We can basically take a look at the badge later on, not now. So this is it for this video. Thank you. Welcome back. Now it's time for us to apply the form. Like the we want to create a contact form here. So in if we go down, so here we what we can say, we can create a section, or we can also do a div. So it's not mandatory that we should use always section. So I can say div, and in this I will give a class as class contact form, and then in the contact form section I can say, let's say I will just paste it here, and I will put this style here. So this is the body level, this is carousel, this is listing, and let's say here I will say contact form. And in the contact form, what I would like to do is I will say contact form is total width is, let's say 80, or say 6 7 60 view view is the view width. So whatever is the width of the screen, based on that, based on 60, it will take 60 parts of it. So if I say border of 1px solid red, just to show you, you will see it has taken 60, but now it is not here. So it is from left 60, but I want it into here in the center. So I have multiple ways. Here I can do like margin, and then I can say y-axis 0, x-axis auto. So it will come at the center, but we don't want to do it with the CSS as we are learning Bootstrap. So we will do with the help of Bootstrap. So I will come here and I will say here MX Auto. So MX Auto will make our thing bring in this section in the center of the form. So now our form is here. Perfect. Now what we want to do, we want to put our form content here. So let's search for form. So here we have form, go to form, and here what we want is we want to take this form, which is nothing but this kind of form. So what we want is a form which is looking contact form like, or this kind of form is also good enough for us. So I'm going to just copy things from here and paste it here. And of course, if I go now and see, our form is looking like this. But what happens if I reduce the form size? If I reduce the size, this form is very small because the border is this and we have given it like this. What I want is when the device is small, it should take the whole width. So let's apply a media query here. So what I will do, I will say @media, and here I will say max width up to the width of, whenever I say max width, it means up to the width of 768 pixel. Do what? We will change the width of the contact form. We will change the width, we will only change the width of the contact form to width as not 100%, but we will give some 99 view W, so that there's a little bit of space around it. So there's, you see, there's a small space. Now the form is completely full width, but 99 is not good enough, so I will say 95. So now it is looking great, and if I do this, then it will come to the center. So this is how we made responsive to our form with the help of media query. In the bigger device looks like this, smaller device like this, because this media query is getting into effect after until 768. So we are saying until screen width of 760 to 768, form width should be 95 view W. So this is how we can control, and now we can get rid of this border. We don't want that. Perfect. So in the next video we are going to add some more items to our form. Thank you. Welcome. So what we will do now, we will do some styling to our form. It is not looking that great. So what I will do, I will first go in the form, and here above this contact form section, what I will do is I will say an H3 or H2, whatever we are using. I will say contact us. Let's see how it looks. So contact us, it is at the corner. So I want to bring it to the center. So what I will do, I will just say classes text center. So now it's at the center and I want to give some padding around this. So what is the padding we used around this on margin? Let's check. Let's around this we I think use 5. Margin of 5 around latest listings. So here is the section, maximize it. So here we are using MY5. So I will use the same margin across y-axis. So contact us, I will say class of MY5. If I go now here, so it is like this. 5 is maybe more, so I will just say 4. So this is fine, or let it be 5, that's okay. And next is we need to change this contact form. So email address, if you want, we can keep these labels. Email, continue with the form like this. Email password is, and I don't want this checkbox, so check me out, I can get rid of. So password is should not be, it should not be password, it should be basically text. So name we can say, and here we should change the contact name as the ID and give the contact name as the ID here, so that when clicking on the text it will select the content as well. So full name. So if you give the same ID to the label, so if I click here, it will also select here. If I click here, it will select here. If you don't give if you make a mistake to this ID, or this value is not the same as this value, then it won't work. So if I change this, so you will see it will not select. It will not help focusing the text box. If I remove this and click on this, then it will focus on it. Perfect. So I can continue to create more things, like I can say copy this, paste, then let's say contact message. Somebody wants to write some message to us. So I will say message. So copy this, and this should be not this but text area. So I will say text area, and the text area I should, let's say, self close it, and or maybe we have to do like this, text area, and here we can say your query. If we see this now, it's showing here, maybe something is wrong, let's check. So here this should not be typed as text, rather this should be just like this. And then if you want to specify the number of rows, and let's say we say 4 rows and some columns, let's say you can say 60 columns, you can do that, that's also allowed here. So if I go here, so this looks quite big, I don't want 4 rows, it was, let's say 3 rows is sufficient, and column I will remove. Column is like vertically like this, how many columns, so I will get rid of this. Rows I will need like this, like this, like this, 3 rows I want. So this looks perfect. One small thing that we have to do is, now I have to make this button flat long, like this whole width it should occupy. So let's do that in the next video. Thank you. So in order to make this button flat full width, what you have to do is just create a div here and put this button inside the div, paste this, and put a class here from Bootstrap that's called d-grid. And now if we go and check our button, it should occupy the full width. See, it's occupying the full width. And if we give a little bit of margin bottom of 2 beneath there, then we should see a little bit of margin here. Perfect. So this is it for this video. Thank you. Welcome back. So far we have done things around hero section, which is this one with slider, latest listings, and a call to action section, which is this one, and a contact form. Now we will go ahead and finish up the footer part. So let's go to our code. Here we have the footer section. So again, we would like to create a container. So let's say div dot footer section, and we would like to have a full width footer always. So I'm going to create div with a class of container hyphen fluid, which is bootstrap class, and this is going to occupy the full width always. And in here I'm going to give this footer a background color. So I will say BG primary. We can use any color we want. I'm going to just go with the BG primary, which is the blue color. So if I go now, nothing will happen because we haven't written anything, so there is no height to it. So if I just write here footer, we will see something there. You see this section small, but we would like to have a much bigger height. So I'm going to take this and go to the CSS, and before this media query, remember media query should be always at the end. So here I'm going to say minimum width or minimum height should be, let's say, 50 or 60 pixel. We could also use rem. So this is how much is 60 pixel. So maybe more. Let's go ahead and use in rem 5 rem. So it is quite sorry, we changed the width wrong place. We should make modify here 5 rem, and this is 5 rem. So I will go with, let's say, 8 rem. So this is okayish, but I would like to have 10. So 10 rem, and now this is looking fine. I need a little bit of gap. So what I'm going to do, below the this button, I would like to have, let's say, margin bottom of 5. And if I go now, this is fine. And now in the footer section, I would like to have three sections. One is here we will have some things. In the center we will have some things, and here we will have some things. So let's say we will have some links here, and we will have subscribe to our letter newsletter here, and maybe some contact details here. Three layout. So we are going to use the grid system for that. Let's do that in the next video. Thank you. Welcome. So now what we want is, in medium or large devices, we would need three columns: column 1, column 2, and 3. And in small devices, it should be always this column should be one, other one beneath it, other one beneath it. So let's go ahead and apply the grid system. So div.row, in that the first column would be div.col hyphen md medium. We would need three columns, so 4, and call hyphen sm 12. So this will be, let's say, uh, quick links. Here we will have quick links. We will style it later. Similarly, we will have two more. Here we will have subscription newsletter, and here we will have contact details. Let's see how it looks. So here we have three sections like this, here and here. But if you see, there is a little bit of space left here. So let's see what happened. So we are having this, continuous fluid row. So 4, 4, 4 in the medium devices. So let's first apply the text white, text hyphen white. So these are the three sections, and let's try to bring them at the center. So I would say text hyphen center. So now they are aligned center, and of course there should be a padding or margin at the top. So let's do that. So here on this row we say margin top of 2, or let's try to give a or padding top of 2. So there's a little bit of padding here. So let's also try to increase this, or maybe we leave it as is for now. That's okay. So now in the this section we are trying to create just a layout. So now in the next video we will work on the quick links. Thank you. Welcome. So now we will just keep our focus in this block. So what I'm going to do, going to just give a little bit of border here. So border hyphen danger. So we will get a red border. So this is what we see. Now I would like to have some, I want things to be one below another. So that's how I want. So what I will do here, I will create a heading first, h2, and I will say quick links. Then I would like to have an anchor tag with let's say, doesn't matter, we are not going to give anything here, just display purpose, about us. Let's see how it looks. So here we have quick links, it's quite big, and about us. So we are going to reduce this to h5 maybe. Let's see how it looks. So here we have about us, and this is not in white color, so we are going to apply class text hyphen white. So we have this now. Similarly, we would like to have more, so press alt shift alt and down arrow. Let's see how it looks. Now they are one beside other. So what we will do, we will make this div as dflex. So we'll say d hyphen flex. By default, if we do dflex, it's still going to be like this. But what we want is one below another. So what we will do, we'll say flex direction, we will make it as column. Save it, and we see one below another. Perfect. Let's give a little bit of margin bottom, or margin around them, or padding around them, padding of 2 maybe. Let's see how it looks. This is good. So padding of 2 and padding of 2, and I will get rid of this border. We don't need this border. And here we can say our team portfolio, something we can put here. So if the padding is too much, we can reduce the padding by 1. So this looks good enough for now. Of course, at the top, padding top, we can give maybe 3. So this looks good enough for now. Perfect. So in the next video, we are going to work on the newsletter section. Thank you. Welcome. Now it's time for us to work on the newsletter section. So we go to the code, and here what we will do, we will again copy the link from here. We'll paste it and we'll say newsletter. And if we want to have everything in an alphabet, then we know the class. You can look for documentation, but I know the class, so we can say text upper case. Same way we will take this and put it here so that this will be also uppercase. So here it is. Now we say newsletter and we will give an input box here. So input placeholder subscribe to our newsletter. Let's give a class here form hyphen control. So this looks like this. We need to give some padding around this. So we will say padding of 5. And of course this should be at the center. So what we will do, we will make this again deflex and flex column. And now we made it as flex column, so it is one beneath another. But if we want this thing, this both to be at the center somewhere here, then I think we have to, what I will do is I will basically make this, instead of doing this deflex way, we can do it in another way also. That is also fine. So instead of giving a class here, class of padding, let's say margin y-axis, margin y will give 5. Let's see how it looks. So it is too much 5. Reduce it to 3. That is good, or maybe 4. Let's give 3 and we give a button here and we say button and then we say class btn hyphen btn success. Whatever color you want you can give. You can also give your own custom color to the button, and here we can say subscribe. So here we have the button, here we have the newsletter. Perfect. I think we should increase the height of the footer a little bit. It looks clumsy, so I can say 12 rem. So this looks nice, this looks better, and I can also push it from top little bit, so padding top of 4 or 5. And little more height. This is much better. So now we finished our newsletter section. Next we have to move to the contact details section. Let's do that in the next video. Thank you. Welcome. Now it's time to fix this section or work on the contact details section. So we go to the code and we repeat the things that we have been doing. We copy this, cut, paste, and then what we will do is, not sure why we have the padding top here. If we leave it out, what happens? Let's check. Nothing. So that was unnecessary. And let's put the details here. So we will have a paragraph tag here, and we'll say street number 35. Yeah, city. Let's say put Mumbai. Another paragraph tag Maharashtra. Maharashtra, and then let's give some zip code. I don't remember what's the zip code of this, but I will give something, and I will say India. Whatever is your address, you can give it here. And now this is taking too much spaces between them. We don't want that. So what we could do is we could say class of, or we could get rid of all this, and because it is taking too much space, so I can give class and maybe a padding of 1. Does it reduces it? No, it's still a lot of space. So we will not go with multiple paragraphs. Rather, we will use the same paragraph and we will go with that. BR tag, paste it, BR tag. We'll see how it looks and then we will modify accordingly. Let's see how it looks. So this is okay, and we can give a BR tag here as well. So this is good enough. So this is how we can create a footer section. Thank you. So now we will go ahead and create our copyright section. So go to the code, and here at the bottom where we have the footer, and let's create another section, call it as copyright, and we just give here div with the full column class. So we say class as row and a full width div with the class call 12, all rights reserved, 2022. So here we have it's at the corner, so let's bring it at the center. So we say text hyphen center. So it's here. Let's give around some padding of 4. So here we have it's 4 is too much, so let's say 3. So this looks awesome. and we are kind of done with designing our site. One last thing is let's change this navigation to look better, or like it should look like this, like our theme. So let's go ahead and do that in the next video. Welcome. To fix this section, what we can do is we can go here and we have our already the call to action section where we have kept these two classes. We said bg primary and bg gradient. So we are going to copy these two and go to our navigation, and in the navigation let's change this to dark. So make sure to change this nav bar to dark and replace this with this color, this bg primary. I would like to keep it as blue color, so I will replace it and it looks like this, but our button is now hidden. You could give any other color to this, that's fine. Just you have to change the background. Now our button is kind of gone, so here I see the search button here. It's success, so I'm going to say warning. And if I go now, yeah, this looks decent. So now it has been changed. Perfect. Next is here also, let's in the footer, let's apply a little bit of gradient here. So this class that we have bg gradient, let's copy that and apply in our footer background as well. So in our footer, here we have the context section, carousel section. This is our footer section. So here I'm going to apply the gradient. Let's see how it looks. So there's not much of a difference, but it looks slightly different. Okay, so this is how it looks now on the desktop. Let's check in the mobile. So we have the menu working perfect. So if we scroll down, latest listing section, this looks good. View listing, contact us, and in the menu we have, so there's a little bit of space needed here, margin bottom after this. So let's quickly give that. So we need to give margin bottom after this. So here we can say margin bottom of 2 only in the small device. So only in small devices, let's say. So now margin bottom SM2, or let's say padding bottom. It's not taking. Let's quickly just remove this and just give. So here it is, little bit of padding. Same we will do for, let's increase this to 3. This is good. And here after portfolio, we will also give that. Copy this, apply here. Let's look at how it is now. So if we scroll down, so this looks much better now. So if I go back to the desktop view, nothing has changed. Everything looks okay. So perfect. So this is how we can create a nice website using Bootstrap 5, HTML and CSS. Thank you.